I could never.
Hello, and welcome to Be Here Now, where presence invites perspective and allows peace. Thank you for choosing to be here now with us live on the new streamingnetwork.com TV and podcast, as well as WGSN-DB Going Solo Network Radio. If you enjoy our content, do Janice and I a favor, please. The easiest and free way to support us is by like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we thank you very much. Today's topic, tips to strengthen your intuition. I am Judy Forder, and I am here with my co-host in peace, Miss
Janice Leonard. Hi.
Hey,
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching and being here, or for watching us later and repeat. And we appreciate it. Judy and I, we do this every week. We've done a big journey, and we're still journeying, and we really want to take the time to share it because we don't think we're alone. And so we share our tools, stories, strategies, or whatever. And we do this with love, unconditional love, acceptance, and joy. We are a 501c3. If you want to, you can go to our website, www.peacefulempowermentworks.org. And you can see the shows. We get a section on all the shows you can watch, or you can also, there's a donate button on the top and the bottom, and donate because it's a 501c3 and your donations are tax deductible.
Whoop, whoop.
For a time now, if you donate $25, you can get a t-shirt handmade by moi. That's French for me. And you're worth it. And our logo will be on the back. And if you have something that's not risque or whatever, I could try something else, but we're looking for positive messages. It needs to be positive, uplifting. And I think I'm starting to switch to some long sleeve t-shirts. So if it's 30, because these cost more to buy, $30 donation, we'll do a long sleeve if you want, or 50, we can do a sweatshirt. So just email me after at peacefulempowermentworks@gmail.com. I said that right?
peacefulempowermentworks.com.
Yeah, yep. Okay. Yeah, it's just like that. And, let me know your size, favorite colors, and what you want on it, and I'll send it out to you. We appreciate you, and I hope you get something out of it. I do this little thing before each show, and I say, please help me just say something that can make a difference to someone out there today. So hope that happens.
I love that. Outstanding. I am grateful that you are willing to open up your t-shirt making company again.
Well, it's hard to, when you're retired and you have more time, you think a little more, or I try to think more. Actually, there's a lot of growth opportunities when you take the time to slow down. And it's been like, oh, I don't have time, because heaven forbid I'd have to find it again, because I get everything put away from last time. And I found it all, and I'm actually starting to make a quilt again. So
no.
Yeah, I know. We might sell raffle tickets, because I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one or the next one. I've got this cat one. It was so great. It's just a panel, so it would be more of a throw blanket. Yeah, and it's great. It's tons of colors. So we'll see. Anyways, yes, that's it.
Janice is always thinking now, tapping into those creative juices. I love it. All right, Miss Janice, you want to ring us in?
Oh, yeah.
Deep breath. Now through your mouth. Thank you for that.
Oh, I felt that one in my head.
Yeah.
Woo.
Okay. So, I'm being guided to just remind people, in times of great challenge, one of the best things you can do is to start or remember to express your gratitude for the things that you do have. in the people that you do have and the growth that you have made. So, in that spirit, Miss Janice, what is our attitude for gratitude this week?
Oh, well, to really explain why I am grateful for this group of people, I have to expand a little bit. Is My father remarried when I was 6, and he remarried a woman who had 3 children. 2 of those children were already grown and out of the house, and one was my brother's age. And the oldest was a brother, and then my stepbrother, and then my stepsister. She's in this picture. She's the one with the red shirt and the black vest. That's my stepsister.
Oh,
She
okay.
she had 3 kids who were about my age. That's what happens when you have big age gaps. But anyways, so I grew up with the 3 girls there, and that's John. That's her husband, John. That's Paulette. And so I grew up with these girls. I mean, they're part of my life, and it was just a funky thing as you grow older, and the stepmother and the problems, and they were always tied to her in my mind. And they were my family, but yet I was pulling away from myself. I had such a hard time coming, finding peace or figuring out how they could fit in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always, I felt like, oh, I should be doing this, and I should, and I don't. And so I always felt awkward. But since I started this show, I think I've mentioned them before. And I actually, kind of talked to the oldest, who was us closest to, Michelle, about some of the things. And of course, that's not her perspective. My perspective was not hers at all, and we shared a lot growing up. So I've been able to find peace and find where it belongs. I think a little more in a place that's okay. Because like I feel like I always should go here, go do this, and I don't, and then I feel bad about it, blah, blah, blah. So I have this step family, my stepsister and her family. I've got another stepsister too. Hi. And but I grew up with her girls, and therefore I spent a lot of time there, and also with my stepsister and her husband. And
Mm-hmm.
I have such gratitude for them, because even today they still see me the same, even though I've struggled with finding where they fit my life and how I could love them with finding peace, maybe some distance with my stepmother. Yeah, I'm so grateful, and they still love me and care about me today.
And
And
how beautiful is it for you to know that you found it difficult to find a place for them to fit in, but you always fit into theirs?
well, that's weird, because of course I didn't think I did, and you know,
Exactly.
I thought they thought I was terrible. The usual. Yeah, that's which reminds me of one of my big lessons this week. I knew it, but it's another layer deep in the onion. Is the story? The story is, I saw someone who had a story. Maybe it was my granddaughter or my husband, but they had the story of what was happening, and I was like, oh, that sounds like a story. Well, it must be my husband, because he was like, it's my story, because he's getting it now. but that means, hey, that's not true, and you're creating this story and creating these feelings that have no basis in reality.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was one of my lessons today. I had with my husband, and I saw with my granddaughter, and
Outstanding.
yeah, I created a story for so many years with this family
Mm-hmm.
who I
And to
love.
find out that they always had the space for you, that had to feel good to your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes. I am grateful today that we're talking about intuition, because that I have really found it's the key to set you free. So I look forward to talking more about it. It'll.
Mm. And anybody listening, I hope you share with us too. We'd like to know what you're grateful for. What are you
Mhm.
grateful for? Just even going through the process of thinking about it can make a difference. So share
Absolutely.
with us. Write it down in the comments, and we appreciate that.
Beautiful. What's our good news story today, Janice?
Well, that was the good news story.
That is
I know.
good
It's
news.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say that is my grateful and my good news. The good news is I'm finding peace with the love that was always there. But
Oh,
we'll do a news story.
I love that.
And what's funny is this story, which is I loved. But I can't when I went back to listen to it again to review, I couldn't access the original video. So, there you go. It was real was by Planting Peace. And this is a story, I think I might have had a similar one a long time ago, but elephants keep coming up in my videos. I don't know about you. Do you have do you have elephants a lot come up?
I'm not seeing a lot of elephants now.
Okay. Well, obviously I liked it because now it's in the that thing, the escrow, whatever that's called.
Your algorithm.
Yeah, thank you. So apparently, Alaska's elephants in the Far East or southeast, or I don't know exactly where, but they're kept as like, I'm going to use the word slaves, but work, and they chain them, and from birth they're actually chained, and they don't take the chains off, a lot of them, and these elephants there are in bondage. Yeah, well, that's the same thing, and it's really sad. And the first video I see, and what this one was a repeat of, is it's an elephant who has worn out their life work span, and a sanctuary has taken him on. And this elephant right here is for the first time in forever is having the last chain taken off of him.
Oh, wow.
So this picture is an elephant losing his last chain of bondage and is going to be free in this sanctuary for elephants.
That's beautiful. You know what, Janice? I think it ties to your gratitude story beautifully, because your story was your chain.
Oh, it's true.
And you have been able to free yourself from that.
So true.
By seeking truth.
And you know, when you physically see it happening to an elephant, you don't realize that, oh, wow, that's really the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Those stories that we tell ourselves that we stay locked in, those are our chains.
Yeah.
So congratulations and good job freeing yourself from that.
Yay, Janice.
Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and move to our Pathways of Peace segment, where our topic is tips to strengthen your intuition. It was funny. I reached out to Janice about, we need some show topics for October. And she was like, I would really enjoy it if you talked about intuition and your journey with intuition more. So I was like, okay, I can do that. But this was one of the first things when I started this journey back in 2012. This poem came across my awareness, and I even have it on my website, I believe. There is a voice inside of you that whispers all day long. I feel that this is right for me. I know that this is wrong. No preacher, teacher, parent, friend, or wise man can decide what's right for you. Just listen to the voice that speaks inside.
Wow.
Yeah. So with that, I also had, I call them my foundational spiritual teachers, were very much in support of trusting that voice inside and building that trust. I know in my experience, there was so much distraction, and my mother had died. So I had spent years just numbing what I thought was just the bad feelings, but came to learn that it was all of the feelings. I was completely numb. I didn't see any light. I didn't have any hope. I was just existing and working to get through the day. And if you asked me, that's what I would say. How you doing, Judy? Working to get through the day. And everybody be like, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because that's what everybody does. Everybody's working to get through the day. And I had a million reasons in my life to be happy and joyful, but I just couldn't see them. And even if I did have something, I had a beautiful daughter, and I spent most of my life thinking I would never be a mother. So and I think that's really what started to wake me up to, hey, something's not right. We have Jennifer Clark watching. I've always loved the song lyric. So oftentimes it happens that we live our lives in chains and we never even know we have the key. Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Woo!
that's a song?
That's what I was thinking. What song is that?
Yeah, Jennifer Clark just commented that, and that's pretty powerful. I
Yes.
have had the key all along, and you just don't know it. Wow.
Yep. And your intuition is what helps you realize that you do have the key. So I feel like that's, it's beautiful. And again, I struggled to do anything for me. So even my first experience with Reiki wasn't for me. I was going to do it so I could experience it and explain it to my little sister because I wanted her to do it. But that's where I found, I experienced that spark, like something lit in me. And I had hope for the first time in many, many years that life could be better than just existing. So I launched onto this journey. The Eagle's already gone.
Yeah, Jennifer. Fortunately, Jennifer has responded to us. The another comment, which is the Eagle's always gone. Ooh, I've got Eagles. I'm gonna have to write that. I can write that down later. Sorry.
I
Thanks,
can get
Jennifer.
Janice in the next 2 minutes. She will have sent you a link to it.
All right, thanks, Jen. Already gone. There we go.
So yes, and a big part of, going for the energy sessions, and, I was working with an intuitive energy practitioner. So she would receive energy information and guidance from, like, my mother would step forward, and I had a session, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but put me up on the crazy bin. We walked with Jesus and things like that. So she's giving me all these messages that feel so good to me and helped me to start digging deeper. And her trust and her intuition helped give me courage, because I was like, I want to do what you're doing. I want to help people the way you're helping me. And she said,
Okay.
in order to do that, you have to be willing to tap in to the intuition and trust it.
So you're saying that at some age, you started to hear your mother. Is that what are you saying?
I'm saying she was receiving messages. My practitioner was receiving messages from my mother. And that was my motivation. I was like, I don't want the middleman. I want to talk to her. I want to receive messages from her. I want to receive messages from my higher self. I believe we travel with a team of spirit guides, guardian angels, the souls of loved ones that have crossed over before us, and our higher self. So I'm like, I want to receive messages from my team. I don't want to have the middleman anymore. So that's when she's like, okay, you're going to have to learn to trust that voice inside you.
Oh.
So that's what I started to do. That's what I started to work on. And you know how we play it here on the Be Here Now show. We always like to give an official definition of what the topic or word is that we're talking about. So, of course, I have a lovely slide. But the first one, I always love this when I see it. Intuition. When you don't know how you know, but you know, and you knew, and that's all you needed to know.
I like that. Okay.
But the official definition I saw, just a short one, is what is intuition? By definition, intuition is the ability to acquire knowledge without the need for conscious logic or reasoning.
How do you get that thinking part out of the way to do that?
It takes practice. Practice over and over and over again. And I think this is a perfect place for us to break for commercial. And then when we get back, we'll dive into that.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Back to Be Here Now, where presence invites perspective and allows peace today's topic is tips to strengthen your intuition. And we're going to dive into that real fast. You know, the funny thing is, Janice, in doing the research for this, and I'm not going to say I did a ton of research, but looking into it, I saw a graphic that said there are 4 types of intuitive thinking. And I think that really opened my mind up to thinking of intuition differently. And we'll get to that. Can we hit the next slide, please, Silveria? That'd be great. It says there's 4 types of intuitive thinking. Emotional intuitive thinking, the ability to see through someone's personality and emotions. So when I read that, I think, okay, so we're able to see the true spark within them. We see through the masks, and we see through the fake smile. You know, people pretending that things are okay when they're not. Emotional intuitive thinking. Then number 2 was mental intuitive thinking, ability to immediately solve an issue without analysis. It comes to you. The resolution comes to you. And again, you don't need any logical or reasonings to justify that this is the solution. Psychic intuitive thinking, ability to effectively cope with a personal crisis. The ability to effectively cope with a personal crisis. And I feel like for me, that means you go within and ask the questions. It's a personal question. And one of the first questions I learned to ask is not, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening for me? What's the lesson? Spiritual intuitive thinking, ability to channel mystic enlightenment. And that's when I was talking about tapping into the wisdom of your team, the wisdom of the souls that have crossed over before us. You know, and people tap into the wisdom of the ascended masters, and there's a long list of people that channel mystic enlightenment. So, you know, that was interesting to me because I never separated the intuition. To me, it's just been intuition. Do I get it to solve my own personal crisis? Yeah, I do. Can I listen to people? I mean, that's what I do. I'm an intuitive counselor. I listen to people that are struggling with certain things, and then I guide them to resolution. Do I channel? I do, because I don't have that unlimited wisdom. I receive that wisdom from the guidance I get when I'm tapped in. And the ability to see someone's personality and emotions, that's about reading the energy. Because they're speaking the words, but something feels off. The words and their energy aren't aligning. So there's something off here. And I feel like everybody has that, and they just don't realize it. Or they chalk it up to mother's intuition, or it's just a gut feeling. That's what intuition is. You know, your gut is your solar plexus. That's your powerhouse. So if there's something off and your gut feels off, that's your body's way of saying, hey, pay attention. Something's not aligned here. Something's not adding up.
So when I say I feel that, because sometimes because it's not like a logical thing, it's a feeling thing. That's really what I'm doing.
Yes, exactly. It's one of those, I can't explain it, but this is what I'm feeling. That's intuition. And it's funny because we have a very dear friend that always would say, I'm not intuitive. I don't get any messages. I don't get this. And then we would meditate, or we would do a guided meditation. And then she would describe this beautiful scene that she saw. And this is the message that I received, this nugget of gold that just blows your mind. And she was like, yeah, but you know, how do I know? I could have made that up.
My imagination. Here you go.
So that's, you know, learning to trust is the biggest thing. Learning to trust is the biggest thing. So, you know, I just did 4 bullet points here. The first thing is find some time to be still. Mind, body, remove all distractions. Because Once you remove all the distractions, that little voice we were talking about earlier, you can hear better. Take deep breath and then ask a question. Start with a small question and then build in importance the more confident you feel. Pay attention and be willing to trust what you're hearing. And then take action. The more you trust, the more information you receive. So I started thinking about all of this and then thinking about my journey to where I am now. And it really started with, when I say start small, I started small. Like I would open up my closet in the morning and I'd say, okay, what am I wearing today? And whatever my attention was drawn to, that's what I would wear. Then when I was driving, okay, am I going to take a right or a left here? Whichever I heard, I took. Trusting. And the more I trusted, the bigger the questions got. But it was interesting because what I was thinking this morning as I was preparing is I started with things that only affected me. Only me. What I was wearing, what direction I took, if we were in a restaurant, what am I going to eat? Only affected me. And then as I got more confident, I started to ask questions about my relationship, things that were family oriented. So I went from what am I wearing, what am I eating, how am I driving, to, okay, how can I improve my line of communication with my partner? How can I improve my relationship with my daughter? How can I do these things? And that was the real kick in the face, because the answer to all of them is take responsibility for how you show up. It wasn't pointing fingers, well, she's doing this and she's not respecting me and la, la, la. All those things that I wanted to put on everybody else, I had to then take responsibility for. Because no one can make us feel anything without our permission.
Wow.
And that was a hard pill to swallow.
That's big.
Yeah. That was a hard pill to swallow. So, that was the big one that was like, okay, if I want things to change, I have to take responsibility for how I show up and understand that I play a part in every one of these things that I feel are a problem. So you start asking questions geared toward, how can I get out of my own way? What is it in me that needs to be acknowledged, seen, heard, so that I can feel safe in this situation?
Can you give an example?
Perfect example. This came up many times in circle. And Katie Anna, if you're watching, you're the one that always threw this at me. I would always say Maddie was not respecting me, my daughter. And she would always say, what is it with you and respect? So I started asking myself that question. What is it with me that disrespect is something that just sends me off the rails? And in that, I discovered that because I was the obedient child, I didn't do a whole lot I didn't color a lot outside the lines because I was a people pleaser. Now, I'm not saying I was lily white and never did anything wrong. Lord knows I did. But I did my best, especially with my mother, to color inside the lines, do what she needed done around the house so she wouldn't get angry. And Maddie did not have that. Maddie didn't give a flying shit whether or not I was mad.
I know. I can't believe that.
I had to go within and figure out that this was me. This was me putting my childhood on her. And I only got to that place by going in and asking the questions. So I learned that my kid's not going to scream at me. We're going to have to find a happy medium there. But that's when, and I know I've talked about it on the show, that's where the whole timeout thing came up. Because I was talking to a friend of mine and she was like, look, I had the same trouble with my kid and this is what we were told to do. So the second, we started going at each other, if one of us threw the timeout, we both had to stop. We had to be respectful of that. That was a boundary. And that was a boundary stating to each of us, you're not going to disrespect me. If we can't communicate on a level where we can hear one another, then we need to stop communicating for now. Get ourselves together and come back and talk about it. And, it wasn't something that happened overnight, but with constant use and trust, because she didn't trust that I'd shut up. I didn't trust that she would shut up, because she was one that would follow me from room to room, screaming and crying. I'm trying to get away so I don't kill her, and she's following me. So it took repetition and repetition. But I never could have gotten to that if I hadn't realized that the disrespect was my issue, not hers. And it wasn't something that came to me overnight. It was years and years and years of going back in and asking and asking and asking. So, leaving teaching, I had to go to Tammy, who, ever since we had been together, I had a secured, guaranteed income and healthcare, and say, hey, I want to leave my career of 24 years and dive into this Reiki energy stuff, which she never did not just support me. She never poo-pooed it, but you're going to make a living doing this? So trusting that guidance where, you need to leave your teaching job and you need to start doing this full time, that was huge.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And then just community. I was in that sports world. Maddie was an athlete. So it was that whole competition thing, and parents versus parents and coaches versus this. And it was very divisive. And I was all in. I was a coach. I was all in and, fighting for my kid and all that kind of stuff. And then just kind of woke up to, this is not what it's meant to be. This isn't what the intention behind getting kids in sports isn't about tearing each other down. It's about building camaraderie and connection. So that was a huge reality. And then just seeing it on a global level, waking up to the fact that, that whole saying, united we stand, divided we fall. For some reason, that kept coming to me over and over and over again. And as I kept looking, then it brought to my attention all the different places where we're encouraged to fight against one another or pick a side. And the intuition kept saying, look deeper, look deeper, look deeper. And when you listen and look and then start to ask the questions, because in the beginning, I was like, I trust. I was afraid to ask questions because I didn't want whatever. I didn't want the higher powers to think I didn't trust. Now I know, ask the questions. If you need more clarity, ask the questions. If all you're hearing is static, adjust your question. And if you're still not getting the answers, then you're not meant to get the answer yet. And it sounds, honestly, I don't know how it sounds anymore. But what I'm going to say is, the more you trust it, it's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the more you trust it, the more information you get. We have been taught from very young on that the experts are external. We're not taught to go within and ask ourselves. So I got a couple of memes here that just kind of blew my world wide open. The smallest change of perception or shift of emotion alters the path you walk. Change doesn't take time, it takes awareness. When you decide differently in this moment, the energy of your future rearranges instantly to align with that decision. Yeah.
Wow.
So, it doesn't have to be some huge thing. It all starts with one little decision to make a different choice. You having that story in your mind about your step family. You made the decision to find out how they felt and if it was different. And you found out it was. They didn't think the same way you did. And what a beautiful gift that is. You chose to do something different. The energy for your future has rearranged. And it's aligning with the decision that you know that maybe you need to run all these old stories and see if they're still true. And that's what all of us need to do. Run those stories that we have in our minds and in our hearts and see if they're still true today. Yes. And in 2025, slowing down is an act of self-preservation. And Janice, you retiring, perfect timing. We encourage write by hand, drive in silence, take long walks, read real books, sit in the sun, cook your own food, listen to people without checking your phone, watch the sky change color, let yourself be bored, and touch the ground with your bare hands. The world moves faster than our minds can process. Every app pulls for our attention. Stillness is rare now, almost radical. Protect the quiet. That is where the clarity lives.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's so spot on and true. And what I have these I call them shower epiphanies. I even told Janice I was going to have to be late for our pregame because I had this clarity. Like, we've all been using our intuition all along. All along. The masks that we put on, the survival techniques that we've acquired because we were living in that space of fear and living in survival. Intuition is what taught us what mask to put on. Intuition is what taught us what survival skill we needed with this group of people. That intuition was built on fear. That intuition then became instinct. So what we're finding now, and what I'm working on now, is we're transitioning from living in that space of fear and choosing love. So intuition used in the foundation of love is going to guide you to what brings you peace. It's going to guide you to what brings you love. It's going to guide you to what brings you joy and freedom. Whereas intuition used with the foundation of fear is simply based on survival. So we're making that choice to leave the survival zone and live in love, truth, joy, and happiness.
That's so true.
That intuition, everybody says we don't have it. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on it today. You've used it and you've used it well because you're here. You have survived. Intuition has served us all along. Now we're just shifting from intuition based in fear to intuition based in love and truth. That's why the very first question you ask when we're playing those stories is it still true? And is this feeding my peace or is this feeding my fear?
Oh boy. Very good.
So that was the epiphany I had. And then, of course, Facebook and Facebook memories. It's so funny because in my Facebook memories, I had a post which actually went through and updated our slideshow so that I could add the graphic. The original post was from 2019. And thank you, Silveria. And the quote is, "You were born an original, don't die a copy," by John Mason. We were born originals. We're not supposed to be the cookie cutter people out there living in society that we've been taught. It's not about everybody being the same. That's so boring. We were born originals. Do the work to peel the layers and the masks that were created in fear and survival so that you can find the beauty and the brilliance that is you, authentically you. You are born a spark of the Creator. You are born a spark of God. You are here to shine and do your thing. Your thing is not the same as anybody else's. We are all here to play our part. If we're all playing the same part, then we get nowhere. We're all here to play our own part. United we stand, divided we fall.
That's a song too. United we stand, divided we fall.
Yes.
And if our back should ever be against the wall, we'll be together, together, you and I.
Go, Janice. Born as originals. Amen. Yes.
All right. We
Thank
got another comment from Solomon Raju Vulamparti. Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
Excuse the accent. Cool. Thank you.
Yes. So that is our mission. That is our mission, Janice. We're going to continue to excavate to get to the original, return to origin, because we were born an original and we refuse to die a copy.
Amen. Woo! Goosebumps.
I'm hearing, here endeth the lesson. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that was lovely. Look at this. We're almost on time. Severio must be very happy.
Did you notice he put up the slide before you asked for it? He's like, okay, time to move on.
Let's go. All right, Janice, give him something to chew on.
Well, today it's not a what if story. It's and I'm going to, I can't read that.
You want me to
That's
read
one
it?
thing is I switched all my computers around, so I don't use monitors. I can use just my laptop. But anywho, so I saw this and I've heard it before, but it really spoke to me that day. And it was talking about a term called a glimmer. You know, we kind of know where our triggers are. We learn what they are for the most part, and learn every day more new ones. But a glimmer is the opposite of a trigger. Glimmer are those moments in your day that make you feel joy, happiness, peace, or gratitude. Once you train your brain to be on the lookout for these glimmers, these tiny moments will appear more and more. And therefore, you will get the opportunity to feel more often joy, happiness, peace, and gratitude. So I just thought we could leave with a comment of asking people to think about the glimmers this week. You know, so what are your glimmers? Or be aware of it. Think about it and see if you can't get that little boost. Not even just temporary, but permanent. Try to change the mind thinking. It's hard, but glimmers, they're great.
Yeah.
Talking about glimmers instead of triggers. That's whole. What are you focusing on? That's nice.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's beautiful because what we seek, we find, and we find more and more of it. So if you're looking for shit to be pissed off about, there's plenty of that in the world. So I love this.
Yeah, there are a lot of glimmers too.
Let's look for the glimmers.
Yes.
All right. Excellent. Thank you so much, Janice. Thank you, Silverio. And thank you to everyone for choosing to be here now with us. Please always remember,
you are not alone.
And don't ever forget, you are awesome.
Solomon wrote to us again. I just bumped in. Looks like it's a great session. Solomon, thanks for your comments. We're so glad you came, and anybody else as well. And it was a great session. Thank you, Judy. Thanks everybody for being here.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.